Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I am Ananya Singh and you're watching today's legal news, where we update you with the latest legal developments across the country. Let's take a look at the headlines. Thackeray faction of Shiv Sena challenges Speaker's decision declaring Shinde faction as real Shiv Sena in Supreme Court. Gujarat High Court rebukes State Public Service Commission over not postponing postpartum candidates' interview. Allahabad High Court directs boundary demarcation between Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. Legal battle unfolds between Cine1 Studios and T-Series over release of film Animal on OTT platforms. Now the headlines in detail. The Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena has moved the Supreme Court, challenging the order of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar, declaring the Eknath Shinde faction as the real Shiv Sena. The dispute between the two factions arose following the party split in June 2022. The Thackeray faction alleges that Shinde has unconstitutionally usurped power and is leading an unconstitutional government in the state. The legal challenge comes in furtherance of the Speaker on January 10th, rejecting Thackeray faction's plea to disqualify 16 MLAs, including Shinde. Thackeray faction terms the Speaker's decisions as patently unlawful and perverse, and argues that rather than penalizing defection, the decisions reward the defectors by acknowledging them as legitimate political party. The plea seeks an ex parte stay on the operation and effect of the Speaker's orders, pending a decision by the Supreme Court. Additionally, an interim relief restraining the Shinde faction from issuing directions to the group of Shiv Sena MLAs led by Thackeray has been sought. The core of the argument revolves around the interpretation of the 10th schedule of the Constitution of India, with the Thackeray faction contending that treating majority of legislators as political party goes against the constitutional principles, subjecting the members of the pre-existing party to the will of the majority legislators. The Gujarat High Court has strongly criticized the Gujarat Public Service Commission for what it deems absolute gender insensitivity in response to a candidate's plea for a postponed interview or an alternative arrangement due to the recent childbirth. Justice Nikhil Karyal, presiding over the case, has called for intervention and issued a notice to the GPSC. The focal point of the court's discontent is the GPSC's handling of an applicant who successfully cleared the written exam for the post of Assistant Manager, Finance and Accounts Class 2 in 2020. The petitioner was notified about the interview date on December 18, 2023, the set dates being January 1st or 2nd of 2024. She promptly informed the GPSC via email about her pregnancy and her due date falling in the first week of January 2024. Citing the advanced stage of pregnancy, she expressed the impracticality of travelling nearly 300 kilometers for the interview. The child was delivered on December 31st, 2023, and the candidate informed the same to the GPSC, requesting either the postponement of the interview or an alternative solution. However, in a seemingly insensitive response, the Public Service Commission insisted on her presence for the interview on January 2nd, refusing any time extension. The court in this regard issued an order directing GPSC to consider the request of the woman and opt for an alternative solution such as an online interview or postpone the interview if permissible under the rules. Notably, the court also underscored that the pace of the selection process was not proceeding at an exceptionally rapid pace, highlighting that the results for the written exam were declared in December 2023 for an advertisement issued in 2020. The High Court of Allahabad has issued a directive to the district magistrates of Haridwar and Bijnor in Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh respectively to establish clear demarcation of boundaries between the two states. This decision comes in response to a writ petition filed by Gurpreet Singh from Bijnor district, who argued that boundary discrepancies between the two states have resulted in illegal interference by Uttarakhand over his agricultural land in Himmatpur village situated in Bijnor district. Seeking resolution, the petitioner urged the court to instruct the Survey of India's Geographical Department to constitute an expert committee involving revenue officers from Bijnor and Haridwar to demarcate boundaries. A division bench comprising Justice Soumitra Dayal Singh and Justice Manjeev Shukla has ordered the installation of pillars to demarcate the state boundaries. The process is scheduled to take place on January 23, 2024, and the court has emphasized the presence of the petitioner during this crucial exercise. The court order further specifies that if necessary, appropriate demarcation pillars should be installed to delineate any disputed land falling within the state of Uttarakhand. In a dramatic turn of events, Cine1 Studios Private Limited has initiated legal proceedings against Super Cassettes Industries Private Limited (T-Series) by filing a suit before the High Court of Delhi. The dispute revolves around the release of the movie Animal on over-the-top platform, digital streaming service, or satellite broadcast. Cine1 Studios has sought restraining order against T-Series on the basis of an acquisition agreement with Cine1 Studios, assigning its right of first refusal and last matching right for the production of the second Hindi film directed by Vanga Sandeep Reddy to T-Series. The terms of the agreement dictate a 35% ownership share for each party in the derivative rights and intellectual property rights, along with a corresponding 35% profit share for Cine1 Studios. However, Cine1 Studios alleges that T-Series has consistently violated the terms of the agreement. The plaintiff claims that it released the film without necessary approvals and incurred production and promotional costs without consent. Further, T-Series also failed to disclose revenues generated from the box office sales and neglected to reveal the final cost of production for the movie. Cine1 also asserts that T-Series did not consult or obtain consent for the release of pre-teasers, trailers, and other promotional materials. Senior advocate Amit Sibbal, appearing for T-Series, however, claimed that an amendment was made to the agreement on August 2, 2022, which led to the relinquishment of Cine1 Studios' intellectual property and derivative rights in exchange of 2.6 crore rupees. The legal proceedings are presently ongoing before a bench of Justice Sanjeev Narula, who has scheduled the matter for hearing for January 18th now. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum, and subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android for latest legal updates.